So the question is, does 17 live up to the hype of 15? I don't know either, because last year was a hitter.
Pretty good.
Yep. Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to review William Heavenhill 17 year. So, I'm really excited about this, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I'm super stoked about this because last year was so good.
Oh, yeah. 15 is arguably... I haven't had all of them.
Yeah.
But it's arguably my favorite one. I know I forget the year on that one. The purple label one
that was
up
12
there.
year. That was 12 year. And we got a sample of that during Advent this year.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah, but it came right after that Twisted Tea, I think.
Yes,
it screwed it all up.
It really did.
So, because I think Jack sent that. Sorry, Jack. Yeah. But... do love that one. I love last year's though. Last year's is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
William Heavenhill's out there. I don't know if it's the best one, but I'm just going to say it's one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah. And the one thing I do love about this is, you know how that old adage that years equals money. Mm-hmm. This was surprisingly the same price as the 15 year.
It was.
Which thank you, Heavenhill, because you could have. I went fully expecting to spend over $300.
I think we were okay. So, full transparency, we got this around Dave and I. Was it Halloween? Was it around Halloween when we got it?
I think so.
I think it was around Halloween. Yeah. We went and camped Heavenhill, and they were super cool. They brought everybody inside because it was a little cool. And it was really funny because they were like, how'd y'all know we were going to have William Heavenhill? And I'm like, look, y'all have a history of kind of doing stuff cool on Halloween weekend. That used to be a big thing around here. Halloween weekend in the Kentucky area, Louisville especially, it used to be a big thing for bourbon.
Yeah.
It's not so much anymore. But distilleries used to do cool stuff and everything else with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was legitimately my only guess.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
For sure.
But going back to this, we were all online. We were sitting there talking. We're like, man, with prices going up, you guessing $350.
Yeah, I was
$375, $325.
I thought it was going to be somewhere close to the either Generations or, it's basically about.
Man.
Even at it's basically the same price. This is actually a little bit less than the single rick house, just a little bit.
No, this was only around $280 something, wasn't it?
Yes. Single brick house was $3, wasn't it?
Between $3 and $350, depending on where you bought it.
I mean, I paid $315 with shipping or whatever.
Yeah.
So, $30 or $40 difference with shipping and stuff like that.
Sure.
But again, I was expecting way more than that.
That is true. But anyways, going back to our point, shout out to Heavenhill for not totally gouging people because they could, and we appreciate it. So.
And I've been sitting on this bottle, not even not tasting it or anything because I wanted to wait for our review. And this is technically our first official review of 2024.
It is.
And so just want to say, dude, we had such a great year. I mean, honestly, this was such a fun year. So many good bottles came out, so many good reviews. Just a fun time to channel between Pours in the Park, between just meeting up with people, getting to interact with people. Dude, it's been fun. And just want to thank everybody who helped out in whatever way, especially with our Advent calendar. My girl Courtney, who does some stuff for free for me, just want to say I appreciate her for doing our graphic and stuff like that. So
thank you.
Yeah. And welcome to 2024.
Yeah, and sorry everything's a little delayed. I was pretty much in a hazmat tent the last couple weeks. So
his house has been off limits for the last 2 weeks, basically.
A little.
Yeah. Oh gosh, right away, just that vanilla really shines through in that.
Really quick, just talking a little bit about the bottle itself. So this is obviously a Heavenhill product. It's 120 proof, 17 years. Last year's was a 15 year. So they actually jumped.
And it was 115 something. I feel like it was 115.
I think it was 109.
Was it only 109?
Yeah,
You might be right.
I think it was less than that.
I've been like nursing that bottle for so long. Like I take a drink every once in a while.
Look, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. Spoiler: regardless of what we review this, I'm never ever gonna say like you need to go buy this off secondary or whatever. Those are pretty cheap on the secondary right now. You should go pick one up. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
As
what
long,
like about 4, isn't it? 375.
Yeah, some of them might be cheaper locally. I will say, as long as you like oak. If you don't like oak, then you might want to skip over it. But if you like oak, perfect.
I'm still trying to find that Heritage 17.
And then this is good luck. This is a blend or not blend. Well, actually, yeah, I think it is a blend. But it consisted of 32 barrels, if I'm correct, and it was $283 at the distillery.
Yeah.
This is basically a distillery only. I think you might occasionally see one or two of these in a total wine lottery. Basically, the only spot you're going to be able to get this is waiting in line, hoping for the chance that they drop.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and say this, too. The good thing about Heavenhill is they've went back to, as of right now, when this video drops, I can't promise it's always going to be like this, but they have went back to checking IDs. So not the same people can camp and just get every single one every time. So the good thing is, if you are visiting Kentucky or you're wanting one of these and you hear one of these drop, if you haven't gotten one, there's a good chance that you could get one.
Yeah.
But because they've also been dropping in large amounts.
Yes, that is true. Ooh. I do think, man, that vanilla really shines through. There's that toast, a little bit of toastiness on it too, but that vanilla really like just underneath all of it, just kind of that sweetness right at the end of the nose, just really kind of what it leaves you with.
There is a very desserty vanilla cream note on there. I do agree with that.
Yeah,
very ripe blueberry. And I love that note. That's a very rare note that I get with like certain bourbons, and I tend to love that note.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, like that nose is really nice.
Caramel, little Heavenhill funk.
Yeah. That nose is really nice. I like that.
Yeah. I will say, for anybody who has one of these or is debating about getting one of these, the first time I had this, I didn't love it on the nose or on the palate. And it dramatically opens up and changes with a little time.
And this has been open for almost
weeks. I don't know.
A month and a half at least, probably.
Probably, something like that.
Because you opened it I left it here for you to open, and you opened it pretty...
I did.
Pretty quickly on
It's very rare I get to open up one of Dave's bottles.
True.
So I took advantage of it.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
There's a little bit of like a graham cracker note in there too.
Get a spice in there. Oakiness is the oakiness is there. There's a sweetness on it too, though, like all the way through it.
There's a ton of oak spice that hits you on the palate,
and even through that oak spice, like I feel like there's a sweetness that underlies all of it, and it may be like, I don't know, like a butterscotchy kind of taste to it.
So I've never had one until the other day, because I joked around with a buddy of mine who we always joked around that we'll hear people like either reviewers or other people in the food or beverage industry talk about like spicy chocolate, like Mexican chocolate.
Yeah.
I finally had one the other day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That tastes very similar.
I've had quite a few beers that have the like Mexican chocolate spice in it.
Oof. Yeah. Some of them, like they had like 6 of them.
Yeah.
One of them I hated.
Yeah.
But like this is like in a good way, like where it's a little bit peppery.
Yeah.
With that chocolate mixture in there, but don't think like peppery, like as in like salt and pepper, like the actual pepper.
Yeah. It's got a long finish to it. Like I feel like it kind of stays with you a pretty good amount, which, that for 120 proof, I feel like that but it's not like overwhelming. It just kind of, matter of fact, like it drinks. It kind of lulls you to the back, but then if you just sit there, like you just feel it. You feel it from like your chest to come. It feels like it comes back up into your throat and just kind of stays right there, which I enjoy a lot. All in all, like that's
what I was getting on the nose. I was trying to have. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was having a hard time figuring this out as I was sitting here nosing it. But on the nose, it's a little bit of like a smoothie, like with it, but it comes off on the palate like a little bit of like a smoothie note that's heavy on the blueberry and heavy on the mango.
I can see that. Like I definitely, after you say that, like you get I get the blueberry note in there.
Actually, I take it back. Not so much on the mango, but more like strawberry.
I mean, all in all, like I think this is good.
I think this is awesome. Yeah. I honestly, the William Heavenhills, for the most part, they all hit. Not all of them are the best, but they all hit. Like, I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. Like, people, it was the orange label bottle and bond, came out a couple of years ago, and people were like, it's okay. And I'm like, yeah, now people chase after it. Because everybody kind of crapped on it, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But I think these are such a nice little, like, hidden gem of the Bourbon Trail. Like, you basically have to come to Kentucky to get one. But they're incredible.
And speaking of that, like if you are coming to Kentucky, Heavenhill should be one of your stops.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Because you just never know, like I mean, I hate it because sometimes people will show up and the only thing that they'll drop is a grenade, and you hate that. You hate it. I do hate that.
I won't lie. So Dara and Bill were here, and I was sick, so I was like totally just like laid up, and I couldn't meet with them. I would have loved to hang out with them, but from the average drinker, and they were going to Heavenhill, and they kept missing, and I was like, man, I feel so bad. Like I hate that. Yeah. And their last day here, they were able to score one of these.
Yeah. See, that's
and I was like super excited for him. Yeah, because I told him I was like, if I hear anything, I'll let you know. But it was totally a dead week.
Yeah.
And, this time of year, it's so wild because sometimes stores try to get rid of inventory. Stores are just totally out. But luckily
they're trying to make their end-of-year quota, whichever it is.
I know.
All in all, for real, I mean, just from this bottle alone, I like this. I like it a lot.
I also want to add one other thing. There's also a toasted note / texture to it. Like, it's not as chocolate, but like the toasted like vanilla notes you would get in like a really good toasted product, that vanilla and a little bit of that caramel really pop off on it.
Yeah, this hits all the good spots for me because it's sweet, but it also has a long finish, and the spice waits to hit you until right at the back end, which I thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah,
and so like this for me is I'm glad it's open because I won't feel bad about drinking it now. And it's mine, so I get to take it home with me.
That's true.
It's been at his house for a month and a half, and I haven't had a chance to, because I actually want to do side by side between this and 15 just for my own. I just want to see what the differences are.
That's right. I will say they are kind of two different animals.
They are two different animals, for sure.
I'll tell you this right off the bat. I think I like 15 more.
I do too.
But they are two different animals, which is at the end of the day, kind of like as bourbon drinkers, like you kind of want, like obviously you want whatever you're drinking to be great, but like in my opinion, I want something each release to be a little different from the last one. Yeah.
So looking at this, I would say this is a definite try at a bar. I think this is a definite, honestly, a buy if you can find it, if you happen to be in Kentucky. But even on the secondary, like this doesn't pull like crazy secondary numbers. So the 17, well, this one's actually a little bit, this one's
a little bit higher.
This one was like, I think right after it came out, it was like 700.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe a little more.
But if I'm being honest with you, like if you could find a 15 on the secondary for $375, I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Sure, I would too.
But this, it's a definite try. And if you happen to be in Kentucky and Heavenhill drops it, I would buy it all day long.
Oh yeah,
because it's just it's so good.
What's crazy is talking to people. Like, we always get people who write us like, "Hey, where should we go?" Whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not gonna make it because we're in line and we count the people in front." And then some people get up there and they see the total, and they don't buy it, or they only buy one whenever there's a couple or something. And I'm like, man, that's wild. Because to me, I would rather have one of these than like 7 of like whatever it would be, like Old Forester 100 proof or whatever it would be.
Don't you disparage my 100 proof?
No, I love the 100 proof, but I'm just saying, like, these are so special.
To me, I think this is a special bottle. If this is the only special bottle you get, you will be happy about getting this special bottle.
I agree.
So, all right. Well, hit the like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and tell us what you think about this 17 if you've had it. And until the next time,
see you.
We'll see you.